Very good afternoon to you. You're watching NewsX. Time to find out what's making news in the world of entertainment. I'm Adithi Matthews. Pop princess Madonna is riding high after the recent success of her new album Hard Candy. And now she has another reason to be happy. Malawian judge has approved her adoption of a boy she found in an orphanage in 2006. The child David Banda, who turned 3 in November this year, lost his mother when he was a month old and his father handed him to an orphanage. Madonna and husband Guy Ritchie have been caring for David in London after she found him while establishing charity projects in Malawi. Madonna was not in court on Wednesday's ruling. The Malawian law is strict on foreign adoptions. Madonna was accused by critics for using her celebrity status to circumvent Malawian laws. Regulations stipulate that prospective parents undergo an 18 to 24-month assessment period in Malawi, a rule bent when Madonna was allowed to take David to London. The couple also have a son, Rocco, 7, and Madonna has a daughter, Lord, 11, from a previous relationship. George of the Jungle star Brendan Fraser is known for his comedy and action, and now he is all set to turn executive producer with the yet-to-be-released film 3D. Curious? Here is a report.
Brendan Fraser, famous for his comic and adventurous acts in the Mummy series, has now stepped up a notch. The 39-year-old actor stars in a live-action feature film, Journey to the Center of the Earth 3D.
Cause it to shatter.
He also gets a first-time credit of executive producer in the film. Fraser plays Trevor in the movie alongside young actors Josh Hutcherson and Anita Breen. It's the latest in a long line of Hollywood movies deeply indebted to Jules Verne's 1864 science fiction novel.
Find a way to keep it relevant to today's audience. And then the real story itself is three people fall down a tube, land up in a fantastic world within the world. How are we going to get out? The clock is ticking. Along the way, we get to see how this unfolds. We have a pretty good feeling they're going to make it, but as an audience, you're there with them. It's done with humor, with adventure, romance.
Journey opens in 3D as well as a regular 2D on July 11th. Loyal to the Mummy series, Fraser makes an appearance again on August 1 in the movie The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Entertainment Bureau, NewsX.
Marilyn Monroe's last fully produced feature film, The Misfits, is going on auction next month. 2 reels of the silent 8mm color film, which is called On the Sets with Misfits, will be auctioned at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. The starting bid for the clipping is touted to be between $10,000 to $20,000. According to the auction website, this is the only copy of an original film by amateur photographer Stanley Floyd Killer. He shot the scenes of the stars and crew during the making of The Misfits. This was the last completed film for both its stars, Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable. Gable died in 1960, 2 months before the movie's US release. Monroe died on the 5th of August 1962 of a supposed drug overdose. On the Sets with Misfits features candid moments of Monroe and Gable, as well as Montgomery Clift, Thelma Ritter and director John Huston. And Bollywood is waking up to the importance of content. Aarti Nautiyal looks at the strategy behind why Bollywood biggies are wooing individual filmmakers and the small indie film space.
UTV Motion Pictures, Percept Picture Company, Pratish Nandi Communications and Mukta Arts all have one thing in common. They have all set up divisions to woo independent filmmakers. Small films are becoming increasingly viable with deeper multiplex penetration, especially in the metros. UTV's soon-to-be-released Amir, the Percept Picture Company distributed Khuda Ke Liye and the forthcoming venture with Shoaib Mansoor, and Mukta Malpix's Sunai Chaugre all reflect the shift in attitudes. Most of these studios have also signed directors to do multiple films. Anagesh Kuknur and Madhur Bhandarkar have been signed by Percept Picture Company, whereas Pratish Nandi Communications has a deal with filmmaker Rajat Kapoor. And recently, Reliance Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group has announced multiple film deals with Shyam Benegal, Vivek Agnihotri and Sudhir Mishra, whereas UTV Motion Pictures are working with Anurag Basu and Anurag Kashyap.
1990s was content was king, and the 2000s packaging is God. So yeah, we are going through a phase where packaging is more important than the product, and which is a scary phase. Director for me is really the God actually, and I mean, if the director is also a writer, that's a lethal combination. It is a creative product, and if you don't have that bond between the talent and yourself, studio, I don't think you'll get the juice out of the product.
Persa Picture Company sure knows where their bread lies. They have had successful stints with Madhur Bhandarkar and Nagesh Kokunur. They brought in the finance and the marketing and distribution skill set and left the content generation to the directors who had been roped in because of their craft and their ability to make small budget, big idea films.
When a director works with any producer, the most important thing for both parties to understand is that they're making the same film. Because normally what happens is the director has one vision, the producer wants to do something else, and then it ends up being a hodgepodge. I want to be very clear that whoever produces my film has no overt influence on how the film is made.
Apart from doing creative deals, they are following the Hollywood model of studio division, where the genre of filmmaking is the separating factor amongst projects of the same company.
UTV has been doing films for the last 6 years, and it was a natural progression for us to get into different divisions like UTV Classics, UTV Spot Boy, and now UTV Rampage. Going forward, all these 3-4 different divisions of UTV are going to make very interestingly different films.
In recent times, big banners and huge marketing strategies have failed to translate into eyeballs even during the opening weekend. On the other hand, there have been niche indie films driven by key directors, which have worked wonders. Idea, script and treatment are the emerging gods of the entertainment business in India. And the recent trend of wooing directors is the latest effort that these big players are making to crack the best deal. Aarti Nautiyal, NewsX, Mumbai.
Moving on, some good news for book lovers. The American bestseller series Chicken Soup for the Soul has now come out with an Indian edition. Priya Randhawa caught up with the Indian co-author in an exclusive chat.
The popular American book series Chicken Soup for the Soul that started in 1993 now has an India edition. Chicken Soup for the Indian Soul is already on the bestseller list, and we are in conversation with the Indian co-author Raksha Baradia. Hi Raksha, so tell us, how were you chosen to co-author this book and how did you compile the stories?
Hi, yes, I think it's because of my debut book, Me, A Handbook for Life, which essentially dealt in the same line. So I had people's experiences in that book, which was like the defining moment or something which has sculpted them. So I thought the book was very much in line of what the chicken soup demanded. And perhaps that's what made the publishing house approach me with the offer. In 3 months, I compiled all the 101 stories. But then we did a test run and we took off a few and we added a few. So the entire process was about 6 months, in all, if you ask. Yeah.
How is this edition different from the American series? And India has a great disparity between the rich and the poor, but there's one thing that is in common. Everyone has a smile. Do you think you've come across that in the stories in this particular book?
Well, certain emotions are definitely universal, like the way we deal with love or a loved one or with the loss of a loved one. But there's certain things which is very much us, and this came to me even more prominently as I was working in this. The way we deal with our families. You know, we have extended families. It's not just about the immediate family, it's the way we deal with them. That comes forth very clearly. And the kind of commitment levels, the kind of tolerance we have, you know, towards an uncle or anyone, you know, not just my immediate family. That's one thing which I felt is very, very unique to us being Indians. This value for family. See, we're talking about Calcutta, Mumbai, Delhi, Victoria Memorial, you know. So first of all, these are the places we've been to, we've seen. We are talking about a Jaya, a Karuna, an Utpal. These are the names we identified rather than a Karen or a Peter. We're talking about, you know, we're talking about this girl who's begging on the road and who shares, there's this story called A Lesson on Sharing. This was written by a lady who belongs to a very, very rich and old family where all the siblings fight over huge property and estates. And there she takes this, her two girls to this pizza corner, and then there is this leftover slice which they give to this young beggar on road, and she promptly makes 4 pieces and shares it. So this is so much us.
So do you think this India-specific thing actually brings it to another level altogether?
Yes, I think it does. I think this is going to be an international release, and Indians are all over the world. I think we are going to give them a nice way to connect to us, to what's happening right here. And I have so many stories from NRIs as well. So yes, I think it takes us to a different level.
Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you so much, Priya.
That was Raksha Baradia, who is already working on the next Indian edition of Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul and a couple more. Priya Randhava, NewsX, Delhi.
Well, and with that, it's a wrap of the entertainment news for this hour, but do keep watching NewsX for more news and updates.